Thank you, sir. Mr. Speaker, I would like to start by attending to the part where the President indicated that with or without the opposition, they'll go ahead and enact Bill 10. This has been echoed by several members of Parliament from the PF who are now explaining, at pains explaining that not all the clauses in that Bill 10 are favored by themselves. I invite you to take some time and go to Chunga dam site, Kumarabo, Chunga dam site. You will find people there. They are called waste pickers, if you want to give them a dignified name, or scavengers. In a dump site, Mr. Speaker, you will find some valuable things. That's why there are people there. The Constitution cannot be treated like a dump site where you can say, here, some clauses are good, others are bad. That is shooting oneself in the foot. Mr. Speaker, there will be people who have just come to this Parliament in the last 4 years. There will be some of us who have been here a little longer. I wish to remind you that not so long ago, there were only 150 constituencies in this country. And we increased it by 6 without having to open the Constitution. We did that. Unless in your mind, there are still 150. All right? And then one of the debaters indicated, Mr. Speaker, the tenets, the values of constitutional making process. He forgot to talk about consensus. It's one of the bedrock of any constitution making process. Without wasting too much time, read today's paper where I sounded out that you will need a miracle to pass Bill 10. And miracles went with Jesus Christ. They don't happen no more. You have met your Waterloo regarding this matter. And I'm coming now to the President's speech because the chickens have now come home to roost. Where at tea break you come to us and say, let's sit down and discuss the issue of the Constitution, pluck out the bad clauses. And I tell you, it is not even the bad clauses. It is the process that you followed that is flawed. And we will not be party to a flawed process. This is not about empty challenges. Mr. Speaker, it is now clear in anyone's eyes to see that the Zambian people entrusting PF with their vote in 2011, in 2015, and in 2016 was similar to making Dracula the head of the blood bank. You cannot leave Dracula with half a pint of water, go away and still find half a pint of water. The President's speech to me required us to go into Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia because half of the things that he said were untrue, and I'll demonstrate. In common man's language, when you go outside, I could even say the President's speech was blasphemous. And I'll read from the speech to justify why I'm saying so. He talked about climate change. Come to paragraph number 12, and I will quote, open quote. Why is this theme of accelerating development for a better Zambia amidst impact of climate change? Fellow citizens, our country is facing various problems. We have a situation which we cannot run away from. It's over a decade ago that we heard of climate change. That's him. Me, I heard about climate change from the time of the Industrial Revolution, which was in 1780. 1780. That's when this issue of greenhouse gas emissions started, not a decade ago or slightly over. And I want you to know, clearly, the President was ill-advised. The first climate conference was done in 1979, 12th to 23rd of February. Some of you were not even born. To come to me today and that climate change has defeated us. Yes, you have been defeated because there's no innovation from among yourselves. Let me just explain to you. Mr. Speaker, the United Arab Emirates sits on a desert, and it's been sitting on a desert from creation. That's true. Go to Dubai now and tell me that there's climate change. They are sitting on a desert. There's no way a president can come here and convince me that the water has dried up because of climate change when Zambia is sitting on 40% of the Central Africa water bodies. Simple arithmetic. I'll give you solutions. That's what I expected the president to do. We have said this before. Go to the Pedico Road, cross the Nkombo border, go to Chembe. You will find Chembe River. The distance between Chembe River and Kafue River is not exceeding 150 kilometers. Plug a canal there, fill the Kafue River with water. It will flow all the way to this dam here, and then it will go and generate power. It is simple. Make a canal to connect Chembe River, which draws water from Luapula River, so that as the water, now we can say we all contribute to power generation. I heard Honorable Nkua saying, no, the people from Southern Province where power is being generated will demand power. Open a canal there. It's simple. It's about 115 kilometers from Chembe River across the Congo into Kafue River. Those are solutions. Not coming here to tell me that we have been defeated by climate change. Mr. Speaker, again, the president may have been ill-advised. The second Earth Summit...
Member just give me 1 minute. Take a seat. Honorable members on the right, if you feel, and I've said this before, there are misstatements, misrepresentations, when your time comes, voice. Now to try and correct this whilst he's speaking, I mean, it's not just possible. If you feel is misstating facts, take note. You'll have an opportunity to rise and challenge his views. That's what parliamentary democracy entails. But you respect each other's right to speak and be heard. Everybody has a right to be heard here, left and right. This is a culture we should develop and entrench. Respect each other's views. You are seeking solutions. We are seeking solutions. If it's not tenable, demonstrate to him. In a debate. Continue.
We're looking for solutions. The second climate change conference was called the Earth Summit. It happened in Rio de Janeiro in the year 1992. Some of you were just being born. You can't come here and tell me that because of the climate change, now Zambia must suffer the loss and forget to talk about the mismanagement of the economy. Tell me today that the situation that we are in now, at this particular moment, where the Reserve Bank of Zambia is only sitting on 7 weeks of import cover, to be caused by climate change. If there was a crisis now, because we are an importing country, we import oil, we import fuel, we import a lot of things. What is sitting in the central bank there is equivalent to only 7 weeks of import cover. Convince me that it is because of climate change. The reserve that you found at 6 months of import cover, recklessness on the part of PF. Mr. Speaker, I'm sure if you look at me now and I do this, you can still see my face. Even if I do this, you can still see my torso. You cannot hide behind your finger. You cannot hide behind your finger and try to put some gloss over your inefficiencies as a government. We have a duty to perform. And one of the duties that we've been performing from time immemorial in this house under the leadership, tutelage of PF, was the early warning signs that we gave those of you who were here that stop borrowing indiscriminately. We told them, and you were here, Mr. Speaker. I do recall saying to one Minister of Finance that if the order of chronological living takes us into nature, some of you will die before some of us. And he said, you are wishing me dead. He's not here. But it is me and those who are here grappling with the issue of debt. No, we are able to sustain debt. You can't. You are wasteful. The most wasteful government that lives on this earth. Even the presidential pronouncement where he came here and said for austerity's purposes, we're going to stop all projects below 80%. What about the 79% which you had spent money on? Who's going to take care of that loss? You must have respect for the citizens who chose you to lead them. You need to have that. People are hungry. I do recall the statement, Mr. Speaker, of Fergus Dart, the former ambassador from the United Kingdom, as he was leaving. His statement was touching. Here we are now, claiming the British are our cooperating partners. We go ahead and declare a hunger situation as a political grouping. We are urging now the WFP, the UN WFP, to also follow suit the DFID, to give our people food, including those in Luapula, including those in Eastern Province. You cannot hide behind your finger. You can't. We can see you. In the meantime, Mr. Speaker, we have the Financial Intelligence Center report, which is revealing to us that there is massive corruption under the tutelage of PF, and the president failed to address that issue. 48 houses. You failed to locate the owner. In a country where the